Okay, the first thing on the agenda is the reading of the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look at those?
Yes.
Do we have any additions or corrections to those?
No.
Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion, do I have a second? Have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I'm not following this together.
All right, if there's no objection, I'm gonna lump the presentation of bills, claims, payroll, and the reconciliation for March and April. Has everybody had a chance to look at those?
Yes.
Yes.
Do I have any comments on those?
No.
Then I would entertain a motion of accepting all of these.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
While you guys are working on that, I received 2 invoices from the fire department, after this was all sent. And I was going to ask if you would approve for me to go ahead and pay those. One is we will owe 1/2 of the fire department AC repair, in the amount of $662.50 to Brandon Young. And then 1/2 of a Lowry Brothers bill for chainsaw repair in the amount of $131.36.
Do we need a motion on that?
Yeah, please.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
What was the total on that then, Matt?
Oh, geez, why did
I'm
I
sorry.
know? It was $662.50 and $131.36.
Oh, okay, got it, I can do that. I didn't catch the sentence.
I can add
Sorry. Go ahead.
$793.86, it looks like to me.
For you guys, just so you know, we got to doing some more digging when we did the addition. That compressor was added, a bigger compressor for the upstairs. It was still under warranty, so the parts were covered, but the labor and the Freon wasn't, and that's what the cost to Brandon. So we lucked out not having to put a whole new system in.
Okay, before I have regular visitors, I'm gonna go ahead and have Brianna from Area Plan. She's here to present Amendment 89 that's already been through the Area Plan Committee, so.
Yep. All right, so I have one amendment to present to you guys tonight. It is, again, Amendment A89, which affects Chapter 7, Renewable Energy Systems, Chapter 12, Administration, Chapter 14, Definition, and Appendix A, Official Schedule of Uses. Referring to said petition to amend the White County, Indiana zoning control ordinance, please be advised that this petition was properly advertised by the White County Area Plan Commission, that this petition was heard in a public hearing on April 13th, 2026 by the Area Plan Commission, and that this petition was voted upon by the Area Plan Commission at the same meeting. The Area Plan Commission voted to recommend Amendment 89 to the legislative bodies by a vote of 10 in favor and 0 against. Amendment A89 is a proposal to amend the current standards for renewable energy systems. This is a proposal for a complete repeal and replacement of Chapter 7. Again, impacted is Chapter 7, renewable energy systems, Chapter 12, administration, Chapter 14, definitions, and Appendix A, official schedule of uses. So obviously, as I had said, Chapter 7 was completely repealed and replaced. I'm not gonna read the whole chapter, we can hear all night. I'm sure you would not appreciate that. So I did, me and JENNILYNNE went through and kind of picked out the key points that we did amend, that we thought were the biggest changes to the chapter. Again, you guys got those in your board packet, so if you go through and have any questions, feel free to email us. Okay, so I'll start with that we added, in chapter 7, we added verbiage to consider the protection of prime farmland when siting renewable energy systems. We reduced the height limit for new commercial and non-commercial wind energy conversion systems to no greater than 140 feet from the ground to the tip of the blade. That was a big change there. I believe the average is around like 300, 400 feet. So we greatly reduced that height. We removed participating and non-participating verbiage. I did bookmark the setback table that I can briefly go through. We changed the setback distance to the nearest point of the outer wall of a residential dwelling to 1,000 feet from the vertical center line of the wind turbine to the nearest point on any outer wall. Took that one out. Sorry, a lot of papers to file through here. We changed the setback from the Tippecanoe River shoreline to 2 miles instead of 1 mile. We also changed it from the incorporated limits of a municipality or the GIS boundary line of the census designated places of Idaho and Buffalo to 2 miles as well. That is able to be waived if so a municipality decides that they would like to do that. That one. And that's something to this one. Okay, so we added some verbiage regarding maintenance, repowering, technology replacement, and capacity modification, and I'll just read this one. Explains it a little bit better. So this now reads to say those commercial WEX projects that were lawfully constructed and that are not in compliance with this ordinance after the effective date of this ordinance shall be permitted to continue in use under the provisions of this section. In the event that a turbine or structure within a commercial WEX project requires maintenance, repowering, technology replacement, or capacity modification, the owner or operator may conduct such work without being required to bring the commercial WEX into compliance with this ordinance, provided that the work occurs within the original approved project boundary. The total number of turbines following the repower does not exceed the number of authorized in the original project permit, and the owner operator submits an amended permit application reflecting the updated turbine specifications. For purposes of this section, footprint shall mean the geographic boundary of the overall project area as approved in the original project permit and not the physical dimensions of any individual WEX turbine or structure. We also added more verbiage right below that regarding non-conforming structures to be deemed conforming. And this reads, for the purposes of this ordinance, WEX structures, which would otherwise be deemed to be non-conforming, shall be deemed to be conforming, provided that the work on the structure does not exceed the capacity granted to the use as in the section I just read. So if we wouldn't have added that in there, basically we would have created hundreds of non-conforming structures, which is kind of a nightmare for our office. So obviously anything new, if something new were to ever come in, it would have to abide by the new height limit, setbacks, and all of that. We moved all permit requirements to chapter 12. So there is a lot of red line changes within chapter 7. If you guys saw that, it looks like a lot of stuff is taken out. It wasn't taken out. It was just moved over into the administration chapter. It makes more sense to have permitting requirements away from the setback and all of that, those requirements. We did add well testing to be a required consideration of an EDA agreement. Again, we did this because it isn't a zoning function. It would be extremely difficult to track, and the suggested testing details would require the testing to be reported to the office prior to the application even being submitted. So obviously, our office isn't the ones that generate the EDAs. That would be the commissioners and the attorneys that do that. We did add the advanced lighting requirements, and these lighting states that the lighting shall be shielded and downcast, no strobe lighting, and all lights must face to subject property so as not to spill onto adjacent properties. For battery storage fields, we increased the setback to 300 feet to a project area property line. We added, again, within the battery storage fields, that buildings within a property that houses a bus system shall be located 25 feet from each other. So oftentimes, in a battery storage field, there are multiple structures, and it used to be that they could be, 10 feet away from each other. And now we require them to be 25 feet from each other. Lastly, in chapter 7, I have, is prior to the issuance of an improvement location permit or building permit, submission of an approved countersigned EDA is required to be submitted to area plan. So there's obviously a lot of things that I'm not even aware of that are in an EDA that are, I believe, are listed within chapter 12 that we have to have before we can even issue a permit. Do you guys have any questions on chapter 7?
I noticed in there it mentioned Buffalo and Idaville. Was there anything from Monon in there?
I not Monon.
Any setbacks for us?
2 miles.
Is it 2 miles?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's supposed to say and Monon or and Buffalo and Idaville since they're not incorporated.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that answered my question. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, so just a couple of changes in chapter 12 that I'll go over. Again, we moved all of the permitting requirements into chapter 12. Very long list, so I won't go through all of those individually. We did change that the distribution of public notice would be extended to property owners within a 2-mile radius of the project. The previous distribution was to properties within 1/8 of a mile or 2 lots, so we greatly increased that. And actually, that was it. Again, just that we moved them from chapter 7 to 12. We made a couple changes in the definitions chapter, nothing big, just defining some verbiage that was added into chapter 12 and chapter 7. In the schedule of uses, we did make a few changes here. So for a battery storage field, wind or solar, it is now permitted with a special exception only in the I-1 district. Special exception only means it would have to get BZA approval prior to being permitted, which is a 5-member board. That would have to be presented and approved before they could submit their permit and receive that. Again, battery storage retrofit, wind or solar is only permitted as with special exception approval only as an accessory use. And then we changed commercial solar energy systems to being special exception only in A1 and A2, and also I1 and I2. And commercial WEX, wind energy conversion systems, again, permitted special exception use only in A1 and A2. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys. Do you have any questions regarding anything about where things are permitted now? Chapter 7, 12?
Anybody have any questions?
No.
Yeah.
And I will note that the comprehensive plan is being presented to the APC board Monday, the 11th. They kind of obviously coincide. They wanted to, American Structure Point wanted to get this approved and make sure that they were aligning with the comprehensive plan before we went and had the comprehensive plan approved. So that will be presented at the APC meeting on Monday. And then after that is approved by the commissioners, I believe the following Monday, I think. Then we'll come around again and distribute that to you guys and come to the meeting to present that and answer any questions that you guys have about the comprehensive plan. Okay?
Anybody have any questions? Then I'd entertain a motion to accept the proposal that Brianna has brought to us on this ordinance.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? This goes down to Annette. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys have the rest of your night.
Thank you, you too.
Okay, is there anyone visitor from the audience that would like to speak at this time? Diane?
I'd like to have the appropriation for the insurance moved to the park fund for the lights. We are going to do that this year. So I
What do you
have,
mean by the insurance? Was that for the payment, insurance payment when we had the storm a few years ago? Okay.
it's still in a fund and we need to have it moved into.
So you don't want to use any of your already budgeted money, you want to just do an additional?
It'll probably be a little bit more than what our budget is.
Okay. So we would need to know the exact amount that, and then we have to
I don't
advertise.
have Josh's bill
Okay.
because he does not know. Number one, he hasn't got permit to do that yet. He said maybe next week. But he's not given us a bill for that. I did have an estimate from Lyle, but he says everything's gone up.
Okay,
So
yeah, so we have to have an amount to be able to do the additional appropriation. And then anything over 5,000, you have to have the two estimates. So. we need another
So
one.
we put an insurance check in a
Mhm.
general fund, so what was
It's
that?
in the park fund.
It's in the park fund?
Mhm.
It was for
So
damage
it was
from
from-
storm.
Yeah, the storm
Why
damage.
can't we just move that?
Well, because you can only do that year, so that's why we would have to ask for an additional appropriation at this point, because it's been almost 3 years now.
Mhm.
You can pay it out in the same year that you put it in, then after that, yeah, it's only that for that year. So,
The year that the check came in, Jamie, a portion of that check paid for the replacement of two of the dugouts that were destroyed, and other work. I think you probably got the figures, it's 30-some thousand.
yeah, I figured up 32,000 without any of the tree removal that was done from the damage. And that was no labor from the town, I mean, that was just the contractor's cost to replace those buildings. Or
So-
fix them.
So what other stuff that was damaged are we looking to repair or fix?
I think the lights are the last thing, right?
The main thing is right off of the press box, there was an obsolete transformer that you can't even get today, so Lyle has to upgrade that transformer in the sum of, back when originally happened, in the sum of, I wanna think I heard somewhere between 20 and 25,000 for that
I see, I
transformer.
think
see,
this
that
is 25
that
to
transformer
27.
was like high voltage, like what you have on the highway out here.
Yeah.
When they hit that switch, that all was energized. We don't want that anymore. They don't recommend that anymore. We want to make it safe. In order to do that, we have to bore from, I'm guessing, home plate out to second
I
base
wanna,
or
I
something like
wanna
that.
think, if I'm remembering right, you've gotta go to down, I think Lyle wants to go down to third base and
Third
first base, because there's some other transformers there, and he wants to bore under. I think Josh is working with him and getting a figure on doing the boring to do that, to run it underground.
Now, a year ago or so, Sharice was trying to get somebody to come in and give us another bid,
Mhm.
and we could not get another bid for that. The
Okay,
one from Lafayette told her that he wouldn't come this far. I think in Rensselaer, somebody told her that he was too busy to do anything like that. They don't do estimates.
Mhm.
They would come and do, one of them said he would come and do it if but he had to get paid for that. I don't know.
So what do they do in that case if they,
They have proof that they were attempted to get bids.
Okay.
and stuff.
But that
Solicited, you have
was
to
a
solicit
year
bids,
ago.
whether someone submits one or not. If you only get one, you only get one. So
Okay,
that's okay.
okay.
You have to
But
reach out
that
to
was a year ago, so I can try to get another bid or two. I mean, that's all I can do.
Like, as long as you advertise it right and then.
Well, I don't, you don't have to advertise it, yeah.
No, you just have to solicit it. You just
Solicit.
have to ask people to give you bids. They don't
Mhm.
give you an estimate. They don't.
Referees did.
You can contact Houston Electric. That would be one that would be another contact. Houston Electric,
Where they at?
Lafayette.
There's not very many people around here that do that.
Yeah, and then there was another one that we used, and I can't remember, that's why I was trying to look it up.
Yeah,
But Jeff Trent that works for them,
yeah.
Baker Electric.
I don't know if Lightstream would do it or not, but you could call them and ask them. We do boring, but I don't know if we do it outside of our business or not.
And Josh do a lot of that too. for
Yep.
you guys.
Yep.
He was gonna bore some stuff at the courthouse.
Diane, did you have anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, anybody else?
So once I get the amount, then if you guys are okay with it, then I can start the process, I mean, like start the advertisement and stuff and, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Terry?
Real quick, since it came to my attention via the social media that 421 is gonna have railroad crossings closed in the next 2 weeks, what is that going to do to our fire department's access to the south end of town?
You'll have to go out and around Quarry Road.
No, actually, the access would be to the north because it's the 3rd Street crossing.
Is it the one that's going this way then?
It's the curved one,
Oh, Third Street's gonna be going down too.
3rd
So
Street.
it
The one that's
should,
cut
it should
is
allow
3rd
them
Street.
then the space
They
to
could go
go.
south, they'll have to go or over, the middle stab to go north.
Okay, I just wondered because that came to my attention that presents a problem. We don't have fires now or anything, but it could happen in 2 weeks
You
and
never know.
I just wondered.
Yeah, the fire department, everybody's been notified and dispatched, so.
Okay, all right.
Anybody else?
Mike needs to.
Mike?
So back last, I believe, February sometime, you guys come to us about what was going on with the sewer treatment plant, so on and so forth. And at that time, you didn't think you were gonna need any money from us. But now I hear that's a different scenario. So if we are gonna need something, I need to know how much, and we need to discuss whether that needs to be an interlocal agreement where you guys would have so many years to pay back what you borrowed or so on and so forth. But I wanna see this project underway before I leave this year.
Yeah, so once we go out to bid, which it's back in RD's hands. So we're just waiting for them to give us the go-ahead to start that
I was
process?
hoping that maybe we'd get a meeting sometime by July, if that's, you
Yeah, okay.
think that'll be enough time?
Yes, everything goes as
Everything
planned.
goes as planned. It'll
Right.
probably
Yeah.
be about the right time, about we'll have it done.
Yeah.
Because I know this has been years and we need to do something.
And she also presented, months ago, kind of a,
Possible
Rough.
timeline, right?
yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're thinking. It's probably gonna be June bidding
We're really close.
or real close. Yeah, so if we get numbers by July, we'll know what we need, so.
Yeah.
And then we'll come in.
How do you want to meet with that, Mike? With all the commissioners or?
We probably just,
We could probably do like an executive session where it doesn't have to be, yes, you got your board, our board, and the attorneys.
Okay.
So that way everybody can sit down and see how to structure it the best for everybody,
Okay,
so.
that we can do.
Are you talking?
Anybody else?
What's that? Talking about that.
I am, yeah, yeah, I, you can blame Annette for this, because she asked me to do this. This is some information. I have an extra one since Ron's not here. This is some information that the CURBC people presented. I forget one after. It's a opportunity for the town to apply for a grant. And if you look, I'm not gonna go through all of it, but I'll give you some of the nuts and bolts of this. It was presented, what, a month ago? Something like that.
Curbsy presented it, and then we had another meeting.
I know we had another one just a couple weeks ago. Okay, but anyhow, I know this has been going on for a while, because I'm familiar with how it operated in Benton County. I know someone there. What it does, it provides owner facilities, homes, whatever it may be, an opportunity to get a new roof, heat, air conditioning, some lighting, and some up to the door disability done. The commitment is for the town to run it, because it's only eligible for municipalities, counties. Is the county doing this? You know?
Yes, we're gonna do this.
You are?
Okay, so this is my 2 cents.
Go ahead.
I was trustee for 20 years, and I couldn't do anything to fix roofs. I could rebuild the whole house, but if the roof was damaged, I couldn't touch it, Area 4 couldn't touch it, USDA couldn't touch it. So it eliminated, the people that needed the help the most. This program is different because the county would be up to 500,000, the town would be
350.
350.
Mm-hmm.
But if they apply for the county, and don't get it, they still might be able to apply at the town level. So we haven't really we had a leadership meeting about it, how we would proceed. Some towns don't have any money because there is a grant match to this. It's 10%. And in our case, the countywide, it would be up to $25,000 that could be granted of a pool of 500,000. Your guys would still be the 25,000.
Right.
But the pool would only be 350,000. And so the county has to set up, and then if you guys decide to do it, you'll have to set up a board, decide how it's gonna be policed, because you don't want somebody to come in and flip a house using this money. There has to be some kind of payback. So what the county's looking at doing is, if you go with this program, and you're gonna need stakeholders, somebody to help these people, because this is all online. And some of my township assistants cases, they didn't have computers, they didn't have the internet, so they're gonna have to go to a place to be able to help them be able to get online, walk them through it step by step. But by doing that, then you guys' board, or however you set up a board, can rank them 1 through 10, or how many ever you have, which one's the worst, which one's, and so we can police it a little bit that way. But then, like what we were talking about doing, is put a lien on it. So you can have this money, but you must live there for 5 years. If it's sold within that time frame, then whatever the sale value of the home was, we get our money back that we put into it. So it puts a little bit of skin in the game for them too. But, since the county got rid of the old folks home and the paupers home, whatever you want to call it, we don't have anything to help these townships with people that we want to age in place. Or, in my case, I had a mom that was fighting cancer really bad, and she had an autistic child, and they didn't have anything. And it was hard to get money into them on what the townships could and couldn't do. So.
And this is, I think it is, there's a 10% matching. And I'm gonna talk about another program in just a couple minutes as well. But it's obviously beneficial to those individuals. It's also beneficial to the town as well. mean, if you have people living in conditions that, that house is really in bad shape, it just doesn't look good for the neighborhood in general. And this is an opportunity for the town to help those people who, in most cases, have been here for their entire life. And this gives them an opportunity to stay here. And in many cases, it is elderly or disabled and so forth. And as Mike said, I mean, you could kind of rank them in categories as to how you're going to deal with this. This lays out pretty much everything. I'm not going to go through it all, as I said, but it lays out pretty much everything as to how you would approach it and present it and so forth, and stakeholders. Obviously, we have the library here that we can get assistance as far as applying online and so forth. I know one family already that I just moved into a house maybe a week or so ago. Everybody in the house is disabled. They do have disabled pay and so forth, so that they have some money, but that's never enough. And the house that they're living in is a 2-story, and none of them can walk very well. The one guy crawls up the stairs. So there's some assistance needed for some people within our community for these kinds of programs. And I would hope that you would at least consider it, look at it, and as is the case in everything that I've been involved in, if there's that stakeholders and there's need, the All Aboard group would do whatever it can to assist. Civic Preservation Society, it would also do whatever it can to assist, to help with this. We're not running it because it's the town, but if assistance is needed, either one of those 2 groups and the 5 people who do everything in those groups would be more than willing to assist in this.
And this
as well.
grant process is through CURPC, so they will get all the finals and stuff. They do the hard lifting on it. The part that we would have to do is help them get registered. The other thing that they won't do is windows and anything lead-based, because they don't want to get into windows if there's lead in these old houses and so on and so forth. So they did tell us that. And they have to do a radon check and something else. That's part of the certification of it.
Do we have to apply for this first before we can?
We don't apply for it, they do. But you guys would have to get a hold of CURPC on how you want to set it up. And then you'll have to put parameters in there, kind of, I don't know if you call them bylaws, but how this program is going to work for Mona.
And I've talked to Emily about it also, because she and I are working together on 2 other grants. And, you know, I know we haven't had a lot of contact as a town with CURPC. They're about a block and a half away, and they're one of the best grant writers and people to get money. I have worked with them numerous times in other areas, whether it be through the county or the groups that I belong to, and they're terrific to work with. Edwin obviously had run that for many years, and Emily has now taken over, and both of them have been really good in assisting. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. Mike's available. Emily would be a good one because she's the one that would be in charge of this. So secondly, again, Emily and CURPC. I've been working with them on the fertilizer plant, and I turned in the paperwork on that a while back, and then one of the things that I had to get to finish out the paperwork was an estimate on the tear down of that particular building. And I went to Josh Bowser, Mike Ezra. They put together an estimate on that and kind of gave us a hometown discount of $35,000. And I turned that in to Emily the other day. She said, "Is that all?" Well, I said, "You can make it out whatever you want to in the grant, whatever it takes." And in further discussion, It didn't have anything to do with what we were initially doing, but I brought up the other building. And they gave me an estimate on that too. That was 25,000. And so I brought it up to Emily. I said, well, you know, if 35,000 isn't enough, what about 60,000 on the two buildings? I don't know where you're at with that building, but just kind of looking down the road, she said, well, let me check on that. Let's see if we can wrap those up into one package at $60,000. So your cost would be $6,000 to clean up both those buildings if we got that brownfield grant. I'm not sure you're gonna find a better opportunity than that. Whether we get it accomplished or not, I don't know. But I am working with her to get everything taken care of in terms of paperwork on all of that, so that when it does come to making a decision, we'll be ready at least to pull the trigger on that. But I thought that was pretty good, and I have both those guys ready and raring to go if it happens.
So what kind of time frame are we, is Emily thinking
Well,
we would know?
I don't really know.
I mean, cause I like that. I mean, that's a great thing, right? The $6,000. However, you know, if we have an accident up in, well, either building, right? You know,
Well, you can do it for 25,000 right now if you want to.
the one building.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
And you can
saying.
do the other one for 35,000 right now.
Right.
So the question is, do you want to pay for the whole thing, or do we just, you know, do what we have to do in terms of the grant? I mean, I don't know, insurance wise,
So,
that's not an answer I can give you,
so
Jamie.
with, yeah, with Emily doing it at, you know, writing this grant process, and if we turn in, say, let's use the 60 that you're talking about, are we able to get reimbursed for that? I mean, still get that money back and we can throw it in the other fund?
Well, if you got the
You don't-
grant, yeah. If
But-
you do it right now, and
Worst
you don't
case-
get the grant,
Worst
then-
case, we're out 25 right now and
well,
35,
whatever it may be, yeah.
right? So we can do one building now, then do one whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
That building doesn't need to still be standing when they decide if we're gonna get the grant or anything.
Well, we'll need to have a discussion with her
Emily,
at what
Good point.
stage.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of those,
Don't hurt yourself,
Yeah.
tear it down before.
Right.
yeah, you don't want to make that commitment that, well, you've already torn it down, you've already paid 60,000. You know, forget the grant. So you
Right.
can't just do that unless you're okay with it ending up spending the 60,000, which I don't
What's the
recommend.
second building?
Huh?
I know where the elevator,
Well, that's the one that burned down.
okay.
On
so you're
4th Street.
talking about-
Yeah, I'm talking about
Packing.
Jeff Fossing's building.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually two buildings together, but it's an eyesore. It's dangerous.
What
The wall's
does it
falling down.
have chain link around it right now?
No, it doesn't have anything around
You
it right
might
now.
put chain link around it just to
Well,
keep people out of it.
Before we had it at one point, and that's the
Yeah,
plan.
we're in the process again.
So when we're talking about that area, Mr. Young, the parking lot that's taped off that I think is public parking, have you talked to him about
That's,
that? Because
what-
there was
what
parking in Kersey's parking lot.
what that is years ago, when Zarzi owned the bar,
Okay,
they put the apartments up top, and they had to have off-street parking, 2 cars per each apartment. So Zarzi and Glenn Newbold made this deal. Newbold still owned the property, but those parking areas are attached as a right on to the deed of that bar.
okay.
So he has control.
But
over
was there
those.
any contingencies if those weren't apartments later on, that it would revert back to the city?
I have not seen that paperwork, but it would
It
be
would revert back to Glenn Newbold.
Glenn Newbold.
Which would be
Yeah.
pumped.
Because that's the other thing, if you guys are investing that money into the packing plant, can that be turned into parking, or are you looking at,
Well, we're-
looking at something else?
Ours is not the ours is not the packing plant. It's the bossing building, this side of here with the 2 open. So
It's
yeah,
next to next to that.
It's next to Harold's.
It's next to Harold's.
So that's my
Now that-
point though. I mean,
but
since you guys are fed the bill, would you be able to turn that into city parking?
That all depends on what happens eventually. I mean, Boston still owns that property. We don't own it at this particular point. We're
Right,
trying to
but
work
you're
through
paying for
that.
the cleanup.
Yes, we're
Could
trying
you
to work
guys
through
put a
that.
So
lien
you
on
could
that?
put some kind of caveat in that.
Yeah, that's what they were doing.
Or maybe go, if we can get Bossing to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Right, we can take over, maybe even look at seeing if, the owners of Harold's wants to buy it for 25 grand. And there it is, there's your parking, and I'm sure you have to do more to it, but,
Just thoughts.
yeah.
I just know when we try to have a courtesy meeting and you got 60 people coming to the meeting, there's nowhere to park around that building.
Well, see, that, we actually own that parking lot, but Kirk's has helped with the maintenance of it and
Right.
stuff. We were talking today, because we're actually, was trying to get our signs up that, we talked about for public parking, but the sign guy messed up on one of the signs. But yeah, it would not hurt to have more parking.
Since it's been a very successful business, that's good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'll shut up now.
And I have had a conversation with New Wolves about the parking lot and all of that too, because I've had an issue with Food Fest.
Yep.
And that space, and just assuming that because he owns it, he can do anything he wants to and not participate and not fill out forms and any of that kind of stuff. So I'm not counting on it being used. He's gonna have it blocked off and I'm going the other way. And as far as Food Fest goes, 4th Street will not be part of the Food Fest, but it'll be where the car show will be. It's gonna be on 4th Street and the parking lot that you're talking about, which I've already talked to them that I have to have that empty
Well,
out.
I
So I
actually,
can put the cars in there for,
in talking to Kirk's today, because some of their vehicles, they don't utilize all the time. I've told them if we have spots here that if they wanna move 3 or 4 vehicles up back here into this parking lot to free up some space, I felt they were more than welcome to do so.
yeah, a couple of them don't ever get moved.
Yeah.
They're just there. Last year, they couldn't even get them started. You know.
I
Are
know
they good cars?
Huh?
Are they good cars?
Well, they look okay from the outside.
The one they
yeah.
use for
But they-
traffic count, so they carry all the boxes and cords around in, but then when they're not traffic counting, it just sits there.
Yeah, so they've been sitting there.
I was actually, at Harold's today and Josh came in and we had talked over several things. He had also mentioned, that he would, once they tear down, Lightstream tears down the building south of the phone company,
Mhm.
he would donate stone in there as far as we wanted to stone to the south on that lot of ours. And then, because when Lightstream, if Lightstream's got something going on, they got 5 or 6 trucks, then parking gets tight.
Oh, yeah.
They just do a little parking over there in the gravel.
At one point, I know they mentioned possibly like doing half and half if we wanted to pave that lot, but I don't know that for sure, so.
I think Josh was kind of, to pave it.
And make it a paved lot, the whole corner there.
But yeah, so that's.
And I talked to Josh, there's a power pole there on the corner also, that's a live pole. That we would like to keep that as a live pole to be able to run electricity off of that. Since Josh is renting the building, he's agreed to let me plug in on the side of that building. But the other building is dead, there's nothing there. So
Yeah,
we'd like to keep that, pole,
Yeah,
and keep it live,
the only thing.
or run it out of the building on another
And
post.
Lyle, looking at that last year, there's a little more to that.
Well,
because-
we don't have to use that pole.
Okay,
I mean, off of the office building,
I'll
bring power off of that. Josh is gonna run a line for us and put a post there so that we can get power there.
because that,
So we don't have to use that one.
because that one's a 3-phase. Okay.
That's about it.
Thank you.
Okay. Commonwealth, we had a meeting with, Commonwealth today and everybody else, and we're just waiting on figures to come back so we can get the bids out, so there's nothing really new to report there. Okay, EMT salary.
So we had been contacted by Jennifer that she didn't receive the 3% cost of living increase as most people did. But one thing that I want to say on that is that when we first started the salary discussions, I had sent out the spreadsheet with all the positions with a flat 3 to 5% cost of living increase. And when we got the proposal back from RB, it didn't include the part-time deputy, the EMT, the crossing guards, or the street commissioner. So just so you guys know who was left off right there.
And we passed
Yes.
RVs.
Yes.
And so I've done one, I looked at it myself and got this out. We did as much as I like to say is that, we focused on full-time employees when we did the 3%. Roger, on your deputies, they were the part-time, the street commissioner is kind of part-time. That's why that wasn't included. Jennifer's position is full-time, and I feel that it should have been included in there. And that's why I had it put on the agenda. I think I missed it the one other time, but I think, in my opinion, we need to get the other full-time employee the 3% like we did everybody else.
How will that affect our budget that we've already set?
Well, we get the 25,000 from the county to help pay for a full-time EMT. It will go over that, obviously, not by much, because even last year it went over it. But then we also have which we're gonna have anyways, the expense of because she also gets insurance then, so which is, I think, a $37,000 benefit. And then we have PERF, so the PERF would be basically it's 7.5%, but it's up to you guys. We might have to transfer a little bit from one line to another to cover at the end of the year, but
How does that position work? What's
they're just on call, right?
We
on call?
We have two positions, actually. One of them we just haven't been able to fill. Why? You just said it right before. We now have 5 EMTs, which is great for the town, right? You just have to be available from 7:30 to 3:30?
Whatever the times were.
I forget what time it
I didn't
is.
say-
Yeah,
I
I
thought
think it
she
is
had
7:30 to
I
3:30.
thought we changed it so we can cover the school a little bit better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but regardless, you have to be available, Jennifer done it for many years when she worked up here at Mute Wines, and now she's working from home.
So does that mean that they need to go on every call?
During those hours, they are required to go on those calls unless they're on vacation.
Okay.
Which they do get vacation benefits and sick time. My
And
question is, when they
holidays.
go on a call, are they splitting that pay with?
Day calls are strictly what they are, day calls.
So they don't turn
They
those in, so if someone else goes during the day with her, they don't get any
They-
payment for that?
I don't know how they're turning it in currently, but in the past, no. They never.
Because those are on my spreadsheet, and they have like her initials and a lot of times someone else's.
That's just documented who's on the call. When they turn in at the end of the year for the payout, whatever, they shouldn't be paid for day calls.
So-
Unless
Yeah,
it
I
would
believe
be,
they are though, because
unless
when I see
it's,
the additions of
unless it's and I hate to say this, because there are the lift assists that are truly lift assists. But, if we have a, cardiac arrest going on, that's something that needs to be paid because somebody's leaving a job. Before we never had a problem of it because we had the 2 EMTs in town. Now we've got paramedics in town. We've got, if we have people in town, it's a new point, but.
So we're getting ready to negotiate that contract. 2 of those paramedics are on full-time here, right?
Yes,
Yeah, Monticello staff
And you
too.
guys don't pay for any of that stuff, it's
No.
Monticello's bill.
Right.
And then you guys are saying you got 3 more that's filling.
No, we have,
One.
we have two EMT positions here for the town. One is filled, the other one, it's usually in the past been filled by an EMT that's.
But it's only, but paramedics are only here from 7 to.
no, they're here 24 hours.
Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
I'm just getting some clarifications.
Yeah.
If I need to go rattle some cages, I can.
Yeah,
Yes, the EMTs that go through the Monon Fire Department are the 7, don't quote me on the time, right, 7:30 to 3:30 or something like that. During the travel time of students, right, getting on,
Right.
off school, getting on school. So they're on station so that they can get out right away. But
The problem is for the EMTs is that the rest of us don't work in town. You
Yeah.
don't.
Well,
that's,
it's been, we've been talking about this stuff for probably 1.5 years now on how we're gonna fund these departments because Buffalo don't have anybody there either.
Yeah.
And Dick Lease just retired, Mike Anderson's still around, everybody else is working now.
Yeah.
And it's time for them to get there, and we can't get to the scenes fast enough.
Yeah.
And how I'd like to see it set up is a fire district. And I would like to see every fire department chief on a board of all the chiefs. And then come back to the county and say, this is what we need, and help us decide what we can get to them.
I think they do meet, right? They have their chiefs meeting and
They
stuff
do.
like that, but
But
you
it isn't, it only has telling them what each department's doing. I
Right.
want them, so 1.5 years ago, I took a map over there, and we got a lot of young chiefs right now. And I said, I don't know a damn thing about fire, you guys figure out how you're gonna cover this county. Because the caveat is, the townships are gonna go away, we're gonna lose 6 of them. So now we gotta figure out how to pay for this stuff, and who's paying for what. And that's why the fire district locks in 0.04% into a fire fund that the council cannot touch. And if we don't do that, the council can take money out of what should be emergency services.
Well, and that's one thing that I've been on our department, geez, this will be my 29th year, maybe 30th year. And with all the new technology and stuff like that, and what we're doing with putting paramedics and Monon and Brookston and probably soon to be Wolcott and stuff like that, the next step.
Won't be woken, because I'll tell you what Kenny tells me.
I
They're running their
know,
own station.
but
But if 231 expands out there, there'll be another firehouse out there.
you look at everything that's coming up though, the next step is, okay, we've got two paramedics over here, now we're gonna get 4 because 2 of them are gonna be firefighters and they're gonna be, it's just what it's gonna be. We went from having 24, 23, probably since Linda's been on the department or been around. I mean, she was an EMT for a long time. Tribbett, you were too, right? No, Linda.
Done.
But Linda was too. But
Yeah.
there's, we had up to 24 firefighters, 15 EMTs. We've got 5 EMTs right now and 13 firefighters,
I know.
you know?
I know Idaville's got a pretty good group right now. Buffalo's struggling, you guys are down, Reynolds is down. Because you have to go farther away to make better money to support your family, and that is playing havoc on all these small towns.
Yep. So,
Let me ask this, we used to have a contract with the township for EMT. He doesn't do that anymore.
no, I don't think so, but here's what he's always had to do, and this is just hearsay, okay? I mean, but, so town pays half, county pays whatever they're paying, township pays the other half. The township hasn't been paying anything because we haven't filled a position. But he at least, in my opinion, should be.
But
half of half, right?
Mhm, right.
This is my way I look at it, Jamie, is we are still providing that service out into the township and not just the town. And correct me if I'm wrong, you two, and Annette's pretty well on it, and I think I told the park board right last night. If we don't appropriate that township money and we don't find some place to utilize it, then the state's gonna take at least 20% of it back, and it's not coming back here.
They pulled back on that now because of the new rule changes this year. Because as those townships merge together, then the money will merge together, and then they're gonna let them reset and see where they're standing at that point.
So they're backing off of that.
So, because we were supposed to be merged, it was supposed to happen by December of last year, and then they backed off of it, went back into session with it in February. And then they got an official vote that they must merge anything. So this is what we're waiting on. DLGF is supposed to give us a point system on a ranking. And if you don't come up to like level 5, then you keep merging until you get there. And they can merge to the town and other townships together. So we initially talked about merging Liberty, Jackson, Lincoln, and Cass. Everything on that side of the river is gonna be one township. But then we would have to rename it, and we would have to figure out where the boundaries are gonna be, that kind of stuff. So there might be a possibility where you pick up some of Liberty over here in your township, because that's on this side of the river. But we can go right up the board on Round Grove, West Point, and Princeton, because that's all Tri-County.
I think my sister talked that there may be a merge between Honey Creek
And Honey Creek and Big Creek, but then it might not be a full merger of Big Creek if we go on school lines, because part of that goes back to Frontier. The other part, I believe, comes this way. So that's what we're trying to decide now. We're gonna have another meeting next Wednesday and start the conversations again. So.
Perfect. Now we're back on subject, right?
So,
So listen, I'm gonna make the motion, get our full-time EMT, the 3% that she should have had on this page.
All right, Jamie's put a motion out to give the EMT her 3%. Do I have a second?
I'd like to say something
Sure.
before we do that. I feel like all of us passed that, and I can't believe all of us would have missed that. So I think we need to leave it like it is. We're halfway through the year, and we'll pick it up next year. That's my feeling.
So what you're saying is you're gonna give her 3% next year plus.
I'm just
3%.
saying, we voted on it once.
We
and
did, but-
We're all,
We-
got eyes, we seen what we were voting on.
I agree, but we made a mistake. We need to rectify that mistake. We changed Tracy's once she's passed the,
But she had
exam,
passed it.
but we didn't give her a raise for how long? We missed that, right? And that brought it to our attention. We revoted and took care of it.
I respectfully disagree, but we can go ahead.
We didn't take care of it after the fact?
we did.
How many months after the fact?
So are you saying you're not saying
Nope.
anything about Rich,
Nope.
you're saying,
I'm just saying.
no, it wasn't months after the fact, it was like
at
3 or
least-
4 weeks, it
at
wasn't
least-
months.
It was a couple meetings. We picked it
I
up.
don't think I had that much in
But
benefit.
what I'm saying is, we went back in retro and took care of the mistake we made by not moving her right away because she met the qualifications of the job. We made,
But
we
that
made,
was, that
made-
was
we made a
the fact
mistake.
that she had gotten that.
okay,
And we were not aware of what she was doing. We knew she was taking tests, but we didn't know she had passed it.
okay.
So I'm saying, this is what we voted on. I think we should stay. You all vote where you want. I'm fine with
And that's
that.
fine. I'm just saying, we made a mistake and left them off, and we, none of us seen it. Okay, she's a full-time employee.
Well, maybe we did see it. I don't know.
I didn't.
So just to clarify what you asked earlier, the hours are 9 to 4:30, that's what she's working right now. So, and I thought I heard you say that she's on station so that she can respond to those calls?
No.
Okay,
No, no.
that's,
So,
it's like, no, she's
She's
not.
supposed to spend like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour up at the station every
Uh-huh.
day to make sure the first response vehicle is clean, stocked, ready to go.
Then I would I wouldn't second it yet, because I know for a fact that I don't believe she's doing that. And I know that there's a lot of daytime calls that I go on from my work. I'll leave Buffalo and come over here, and she's not there.
You guys can think what you want. I feel that we're doing the right thing by giving her the pay increase, okay? If you guys wanna vote for not doing it, that's on you. But I think we have to do the right thing. And if she's not doing the right thing by keeping what I just said, we need to address that. That has nothing to do with the wage increase. We need to address it. Okay, that's totally separate than wages. If she's not doing that job, we've got to sit down with her and say, you've got to do this. This is in your thing.
So your motion was again,
I made a motion that we make it right with the full-time EMT to bump her wage, just like we did everybody else, at 3%.
All right, Jamie's got on a motion, 3% raise for the EMT. Do I have a second? Hearing none, and I would say she'll stay where she's at until we review salary things at the end of the year. Okay, wastewater treatment operator pay.
So Tracy has now received her item on both certifications, the 2 water and her wastewater. So, I would like for the council to consider bumping her to the sewage plant operator, the certified operator with 2 certs. That rate is $25.57 per hour. Currently, her compensation is $24.50 an hour.
Why wouldn't we move her to a superintendent job? She needs some qualifications now. Is she interested?
She turned in an application, but as far as I knew, we have not posted anything.
We haven't filled it either.
I've talked to Tracy. She has not expressed to me that she wants to. Are you talking street
I would agree. She
superintendent
does- Yeah, like,
or wastewater plant?
yeah, what,
Superintendent,
like street commissioner, like what?
superintendent.
Well, we have street commissioner.
No. that-
You're letting her do what Tony
Yeah.
did, which is everything combined.
It's a superintendent's job, which she meets all the qualifications now, right?
Well, she meets the qualifications of testing for water and
She
sewage,
passed her wastewater test.
right?
we have 2. We have the superintendent with the water and wastewater, and then we have the sewage
Oh.
plant operator, which you can have 1 cert or 2 certs or no certs.
She has.
Yes. But we also have a sewage plant operator with 2 certs, so
It's kind of the same thing, just a different
She-
title, is that right?
it's a different pay.
So
and
she
different
turned in a resume or application for the superintendent job.
Superintendent of
The town.
sewage
The
The
town.
town.
of the town, so that would involve taking charge of all of our, people.
That'd be correct.
I don't think she's ready for that yet. I think doing her testing down there is one thing, and running the town is a totally different thing.
I will
I don't
tell
re-
you what she has confided in me. She is not ready.
I can tell you, she's also told me the same thing.
And I've
Like,
heard the
she
same
is
thing.
interested, she wants to move up, she wants to
Yes.
be moved up.
But I
She
think
wants to
there's
take
training.
on more responsibility, but she values Roger's support, and she doesn't want to
She doesn't
take
want
over
all of it.
everything. The biggest thing that she has is with the other employees, using the 2 of them and,
There's gotta be
we don't
one
wanna
manager.
do this, so we'll go to the other, the other one and try to see if we
There's
can
gotta be one manager.
get a different answer, yeah. But I say that's the biggest.
Well,
What pay scales did you have there?
So I have the pay scale of, you're talking about for the superintendent
No,
too?
for the wastewater plant.
So it
was-
goes from
It was,
2450 to 2557.
but the title was what, operator with
Two
two.
Two
Okay, and then there's a certified one as well? Certified operator with.
The highest
That is
one.
a certified, it's,
Okay,
yeah,
It's the sewage plant operator two, right?
yes, it is a sewage plant operator at the highest.
And
Pay
she
scale
has
for that.
earned that.
Yes.
So I got a question, because it's been so long, right?
Mhm.
When we increased everybody's wages, did we increase the positions that weren't filled?
No.
No, those were always at the bottom of the spreadsheet,
I know.
and they were not, all those at the bottom were not increased through that.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now she's another 6% behind on that.
well, the reason why I ask is because if it says certified wastewater operator,
Mhm.
that's technically replacing Dustin. And then she will be replacing Dustin, and she will be liable to the state.
Correct.
But
But-
that would be the change that the town would have
Yeah.
to make. Even now, we were paying her the operator for
That's
the
why
water.
That's why I was
Yeah.
asking where it was placed on there. If it was
Right.
just an operator, that, yeah, you're the operator and you have two certificates,
Mhm.
but you're not the appointed operator.
One that reports to.
So
We
we
Right.
were paying that pay scale because she was also the lead.
Yes.
So that's what that whole pay thing was about, because she really did have more responsibility than just a laborer with one cert at the time.
Right.
So that's why we did that.
And we're under contract with Dustin. for
Yes, end of the
November.
year.
Yeah.
And I
And I
think we
believe that
need
we
to,
can
just to
discuss,
kind of,
yeah,
And,
Right.
well, neither here nor there, we've gotta stick to the contract.
Mhm.
Once the contract's up, we don't need it.
Mhm.
We've
Well,
got-
and I think that would be,
We've
it'd
got
be
a
good
license.
for Tracy.
Right,
to-
and that gives her
Yeah.
about 3 or 4 months to, kind of break in and get everything. Because I don't think we need to bump her in and give her in charge of everything just yet.
I agree.
I don't think she's ready for that, and she will tell you, she's not ready. She still wants Roger near because he helps with the budget. He helps
with a lot.
with a lot of things. And my thinking was, I was thinking about this today. I wish the other two would get their license, but they don't seem to be too interested.
I think we have.
Didn't it say in our,
Okay, I just found out why last night.
like,
So it was in our salary ordinance in 2022 that within the second and third year, they had to start going for their certifications, or they would be terminated.
Mhm.
Well, what was explained to me was that the reason it was removed, because at the time there was an employee who was older, he was a really good employee, but he
Oh.
didn't want to get the certification, and the town didn't want to make him get the certification, so they removed it from the salary ordinance, and it's not in our handbook.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
But
so that's,
I'd like, but if Tracy's gone for a few days, vacation, sickness, who knows? I don't think the other two are capable of doing, and we gotta keep this guy right here.
Yeah, it's, and I'll go ahead and jump to the thing. Me and Annette and Tracy have been talking. I've reached out to Dustin. We have issues right now, and Chris, I'm gonna rely on for a little input because he would have been working when we were doing this. We've currently paid out
$71,000.
$71,000 this year to haul
sludge.
sludge out. We cannot sustain that, so we've told Dustin, we gotta come up with a different plan. And the drying beds, my understanding, 12,000 feet
No,
or gallons of sludge
Yeah.
can go into
about
those.
12,000 gallons each.
We
We
have
got
not
3 of them.
used those for a long time, so we have to get re-permitted to dump it at the
Waste management.
waste management, the landfill and stuff, so.
And a lot of times you have to have that tested before you can take it over there too.
Well, see, and that's to get the to be able to take it over there, it'll have to be retested. We'll have to file the
Yeah.
paperwork with them. In the meantime, I think we can haul it to Williams Brothers. Chris did bring up a good point today. Our skidster will fit down those runways, but there's a very little margin of air for those concrete runners. And if you drop the skidster off of that, we're gonna be pulling it out with a wrecker.
Yeah.
The new plant is going to take 30-yard dumpsters in a bagging system and Palmer. The big thing is our digester is just not big enough. Fluke is coming in tomorrow and hopefully he can get that bearing out of there so we can get that other clarifier done and back up and running. We currently run over 150% of our plant's capacity.
And one
Drying
clarifier,
beds
you know.
will take 3 weeks in ideal weather for it to dry good enough to be able to haul off. But we have to look at our options to get our costs down on hauling the sludge off. Because we can't sustain that amount of money without the money person yelling at me.
Who's hauling it now?
Williams Brothers,
Willie Brothers,
mhm,
yeah.
And what about Merrill?
no.
We-
Does he take what? I mean, it's just,
Yeah,
pull it right out
Merrill
there.
has been used before.
But
For the
again-
wet,
Again, I think no matter what company, you gotta have it tested before you can haul it out, but
Yeah,
Merrill Brothers does haul, yes.
But Merrill Brothers takes it back, they have a facility they can deal with it, or they land it by it.
Yeah,
and that's the way Willing Brothers does the same
Yeah.
thing. It wouldn't hurt to take a look at an option and see who's gonna do it.
yeah,
The big thing is, we're also, besides hauling slush, we're hauling a lot of water
Yes.
because of the
Yes.
rain.
Mhm.
And we just can't de-water it fast enough.
No.
And that's the problem. So we are looking at options to get our costs down and other ways to do it. And it's unfamiliar territory. Did you ever use the third drying bed?
all the time, because it'd take about 2 to 3 months to dry them. That's why it sucked using drying beds, but it was what it was.
Yeah,
We're over capacity, period.
because she told me that, Tony never used that third bed, and I was trying to figure if there was an issue that we don't know about.
Unless the drain's plugged, but you can fix that. You just dig it out and, you know, repair the drain.
I think anything we could put in the drying bed.
I think anything we could put in the drying bed, she seemed a little skeptical today, but
The only-
I
the
Said,
only
I'm not a
problem with
food
it-
person though.
The only problem with the drying beds, like you said, is
Learn more
unloading.
about that.
Because we had the backhoe for that reason, because it fit perfectly on the runners. That skid steer, it'll slide off.
you
gotta be stuck real quick.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
And it's all sand in between the runners. So as soon as you fall off, you're done.
And you have low clearance on that.
Yeah.
skidster. So we're gonna try to get our costs down.
So how are we gonna do that? Are you gonna try to use the drying beds?
I think we're gonna dry, Dustin also talked about maybe doing a bagging system. I think down looking in the future, we have to have the 30-yard dumpsters supplied.
Yes, the owner will supply those,
Yeah.
yes, for the
The
new
owner
plant.
will supply
Yeah,
the new
That'll be
plant,
our responsibility.
and then we pay a company to haul it off. Fred up here is paired up with a Amish person. If you go past his place, they are making dumpsters and they are selling dumpsters.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
so,
Zilla.
And I actually looked at it last week and they look pretty good. So I thought maybe Fred would be a good place to look at on the price of a dumpster.
Does anybody talk to Brian?
No, I haven't.
Because they, I don't know if he could use it or not, but they take a higher moisture content to put in those digesters to burn them down, but I don't know what the content is coming out of your plant. That's what they use with the cattle when they're, and then they feel applied when they're done, so that'd be an option.
Yeah, I know one time we used to knife it in on a farmer west of town and you had to have a permit to ID and everything.
Land applications.
So, yeah.
Not very
So,
many
yeah.
people want to do that with human waste.
No.
It's easier with farm.
Yeah,
With the digester though down there, that'll burn that thing out, so
Yeah.
it'll be completely, bacteria free and stuff.
Okay, let's go ahead and just look at the sludge removal. Get some options there, see if we can cut some costs there.
If we finish this.
No,
Let's
we're good.
get back,
Yeah, he's
let's
getting back
get
there.
back to the operator's pay. I would say, I would entertain a motion to put Tracy at the level that she's qualified at now with the 2 certifications.
So my only comment on that is, we narrowed that gap between operator 2, operator 1, and operator or labor, because we didn't give those increases across the board. We didn't fill the positions, but the positions still have that gap. So if we're gonna do that, I feel that, I mean, you're the money person, right? If we do the 3% on the 2557, that takes it to 2633, and the 3% on the 2633 takes it to 2713.
Although we did do that on that, I'm sorry, because I anticipated that was raised. You're saying that with the 2 certs, yes,
Right,
it was raised.
but when
In
we,
2026. The municipal superintendent wasn't raised, but I knew that Tracy was working on that, so when we did that, because that says the laborers, cost of labor across the board, 3%.
Mhm.
So I raised each labor position at that 3%,
Right, but here's what I'm saying is, it's not showing on this one at all.
but he lumped them all together.
Right, but I still have this paper that,
Mhm.
where's it say that we did increase those wages, even, you see what I'm saying?
So
Cause there's
he
nothing on there that
says
says,
town labor employees, 3% cost of living across the board.
okay.
Yeah, so
For
that's.
for the positions that weren't filled though,
Uh-huh. Right, yeah.
I mean, I would wanna make sure that those positions are at the proper rate, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Not really.
So,
Please come down,
so,
'cause that's-
I'm not following you really.
so 2 years ago, I don't know what happened prior to 2 years ago, right? We did wage increases. If 2 years ago, we had sewage plant operator 2 making $100 an hour, okay? Then we raised this guy's wages and the other 2 guys we have, but this guy here that doesn't have an employee associated with it, if we didn't increase that, we just narrowed that gap, and that certification means nothing to this person. So if we didn't raise operator 2 with everybody else, even though we didn't have anybody in that position, then we should go back and take care of that.
Right, but I did, because it says the labor.
If you say you did.
Yes, I did.
But they're not, but here's my problem. They're not, at that point in time, she's not a laborer. She's a sewage plant operator 2. That's not a labor, because we do have a laborer's position. If you're gonna say that, that means you gave the EMTs 3% as well. Because they would be considered town employee laborers, right?
They're contracted. I don't know what the
No, they're
form
not.
you're looking at.
EMT's
I think
They're
that's the thing,
not.
Rob.
They work for the town. They're town employees.
But the actual salary ordinance itself, it's different than the thing that Ron obviously submitted to you, because those have actual numbers in it. We just need to look at those numbers to see what you actually put in.
You see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
Because if she's gonna call the town labor employees 3% cost of living,
Mhm.
okay?
But at the time, we were talking about Tracy and,
Yeah.
the 3, to the street and,
Mhm.
I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. I'm telling you what's on paper.
Mhm.
If you're gonna consider Tracy a labor,
mhm.
we have a labor classification. So you can't,
Use my chart I gave you.
listen, you're the one that give it to us. So
Yeah, I did.
if
You
that's,
didn't use it.
I didn't put this form out, okay? I didn't look at it very well. But if you're gonna say town laborers were across the board at 3%,
Mhm.
then the sewage plant operator 2, the operator 1, shouldn't have got the increase, because that's not the title that's up here. Okay? If you're saying the town labor employees got a 3% cost of living across the board, DMT is a town labor. It's what it is. That's all I'm saying. It's a labor. We have a laborer's position.
I make a motion that we give her, like, I guess you did make a motion.
I didn't, I just.
He was just talking.
Okay, I think, I make a motion that we give Tracy the two, operator with 2 certs. And then we can address that the next time we do our budgets. Because I don't think we can keep going back and trying to reset everything.
I'm not trying to reset anything, because one, we voted on this, and I want to give Tracy what she deserves.
I do too.
Okay, but this is what, you guys are going back, this is what we voted on. Okay,
That's what Ron proposed, yeah.
okay, this is what we voted on.
Mhm.
So that means that the only labor employees that should have got the raise were the actual labor employees. If that's what we're gonna call it, because if Tracy had the operator 1, she's not a town laborer, she's an operator. We have
But
those.
she does labor, she does other things than just
You're
operate.
not listening to me.
You're not
It's-
listening.
Yes, I am. It's a classification. We have a laborer's classification, yes or no?
We also have EMT too.
I know.
It's not a labor, it's an EMT.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. But my point is, we give the laborers the 3%.
And that's
And that's going-
technically 3 people.
No, it's not.
She got 3% on the lead person and everything. She got 3% on what she was making.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I understand that.
So-
Everybody's missing the whole point here. We have classifications, okay? Do we understand that?
Operator and labor.
No, we don't. We have operator 2, operator 1, and we have a laborer. We have 2 employees that are laborers, correct? Those 2 laborers that works for under Roger should have got a 3% increase. Operator 1, operator 2 should not have got an increase.
That's, you shouldn't be doing any labor work either then.
Mhm.
Whatever you want to call it.
Because the reason that we had her at that position was because she was a
Don't
lead.
care.
That's why you.
Don't care about
That's
that.
fine.
It's, okay, we have classifications. Is she classified as a laborer? Listen, I don't want to take money away from her, but if you're gonna classify the
Well, she wasn't actually the operator because we have Dustin as the operator.
okay,
We paid her at that rate
Okay.
because she was
Okay.
a lead.
okay, but she's now not a laborer anymore, she's an operator. If we're gonna go about,
Then she needs to quit doing labor work then too.
okay,
We,
listen, it's, all I'm arguing, my point is, we're classifying a 3% cost of living adjustment, right? For all town labor employees, it says it right here. We call out superintendent, we call out council members, deputy marshal, town marshal, deputy clerk, okay? We call them all out. We call this out too. We do have a town labor. We didn't do anything with operator 1, we didn't do anything with operator 2. So if you're gonna consider town labor employees, the operator 1 and 2, then why wasn't the other full-time employee considered a town labor?
I don't know, maybe you should ask Ron, he's the one who put the numbers
We
together.
all voted on it.
Again,
We voted on it. I would say let's leave it as it is. Let's vote on Tracy's situation now. It comes time when we do the salary thing, let's start changing language.
So we have an employee that's gonna suffer and not get a wage increase because of a technicality that we screwed up.
We screwed up.
Okay, so we screwed up here. We call this a town labor, so give the 3%
we'll
to the
address,
town laborers.
we'll address that when we have our meeting for the budget and when we're working on raises.
So we need to make sure the town laborers got the 3%.
We will do that when we have our meeting for that lot in
We have-
November. Is that when we usually do that?
Oh,
October,
we'll be
November?
doing that
October,
before then.
November, yeah.
Okay,
It's gonna be approved by, I believe.
oh, okay.
Right. So the
Let's
other,
have that budget.
the other 2 positions, they're just gonna get free money?
Who's the other 2?
Well, we have 2 positions, a plant operator 2 and a plant operator 1. Plant operator one got the 3% because the plant operator one was considered a town laborer. Well, we have a town laborer's position. We have two of them. Listen, I'm just fighting for the people that work there. Okay? If you guys wanna,
So are you talking the difference of 3% of what the operator wasn't getting paid at the time?
No.
The 3% on top?
I don't even care about that anymore, right? Because you guys are considering the sewage operator two and the operator one, you're considering them town laborers to give them their wage increase.
So they got a 3%.
Yeah, but really, only two of them should have got it because it says town laborers. I didn't present this, RB did.
Besides the fact that when we were talking about it,
I get it.
Yeah.
This is what we talked about right here. It's on paper. You can't dispute this. If you wanna,
So you're saying that we shouldn't have given the operator the 3%?
that is correct, because it's not called out on here. Just like it's not called out on as an EMT to get that 3%.
So, yeah.
I don't think we can go backwards.
That's why I'm trying to go forward and do the right thing to get our EMT that works for the town what she should have had. Our full-time people all got the 3%. One of our full-time person got the 3% because she was considered a town laborer. And she was, and she's not. She's an operator one then. It's technicality, I know, but
yeah,
it's still black and white. If you guys are gonna tell me what's voted on right here, you guys need to step up and do the right thing and make the town laborers across the board.
Jamie, you were part of that.
I screwed it up. I'm trying to fix it. Okay, because
I
we
say
can't.
we fix it when we have our next,
Then
budget.
if that's the case, you probably need to address the wages of the laborers versus the operator one and two.
You remember that and bring it up.
No, we've got to do it now.
Why do we have to do it now?
Why is it right?
We're a board, we can vote. Let's vote and get it over with, and if it goes dead, then we'll go your way. I mean, we can sit and argue this
I
till the
know.
cows come home,
I get it.
but, I mean,
So why do we have positions in the town then? Why do we have operator one, two, and laborers?
I'm gonna call to just, cause I think this could go on all night, and I don't think anybody wants to go all night. Do I have a motion to raise Tracy's pay according to the qualifications that she has accomplished? Do I have a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Then that's settled.
do your vote.
So that puts her at what, at the 25.57?
Yes, 57.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor of that? All opposed? Okay,
I'd like to put it on the minutes that I'd like to call an executive meeting to discuss this further with all the facts and data right in front of you, so you can see it. Because I don't think it's right.
well, we can't vote in it.
I don't care. We can discuss it and show all the facts and data. We can get the paperwork from Annette that shows the different operators and what we did wrong.
May I ask what we will do after the executive meeting?
Don't know. Maybe we vote at it at the next meeting.
You can't vote at it.
No, I think
Normal
what he's
meeting,
saying is
at
once
the
you have
regular
that
meeting.
information, would you change your mind at meeting?
Yeah, you can't vote at the executive meeting. I'm talking about the next meeting.
Exactly, the
We
regular.
have to do the right thing, because right now, you guys wanna sit here and throw this in our face, which means nothing, because we give a 3% cost of living increase to just the laborers. Right?
I thought everybody got a 3% raise.
Well, why didn't Jennifer, the EMT, get one then?
It wasn't listed.
Neither's operator one or two.
But Tracy got her 3% raise.
According to this, she shouldn't have,
Yes.
is what I'm saying.
Well,
Okay, but she didn't have her
She
operator two
wasn't-
license.
she wasn't-
That-
She didn't need operator
But
two.
we still gave her
But
a
she gave
3%
operator
raise
one.
for the operator because the reason she has that title is because she was the lead.
Yeah.
That's why you said to pay her at that rate.
because she was doing more.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm okay with that. I'm just saying, hey, we shouldn't give her the cost of living according to this paper.
Mhm.
That was our mistake then.
That was our mistake that we left Jennifer off too, and I'm trying to rectify it. We left her off. It was our mistake. None of us caught it. Just like none of us caught the laborers on there. Because if we wanted to give Tracy the 3% cost of living, it should have been listed as her operator one. I mean, it could be discrimination.
We can have an executive meeting, I'm
Perfect.
no problem with that. All right, let's move on to ordinance 260501.
That is to create the community crossing matching grant fund.
Yeah, it's whereas
And
the
to
town
set
of
the
Monon has been
appropriations
awarded $591,756.24 under the community crossing grant. Whereas the unit is required to provide a local match of $147,939.06 for a total of $739,000. And they're talking about Race, 3rd and Lincoln Street. And that is, I believe sidewalks are included in that.
Yeah.
Along with, they're gonna mill out, resurface, and I think in places are gonna put curbing.
There'll be curbing. There's also 3 locations that are gonna tap in, and they're gonna set boxes for storm drains at 3 locations to pick up the slack. I met with Ken Smith last week and with 2 Reeve Riley guys. They plan on being in here within 2 weeks.
Okay. Do we need to vote on this one first?
Yeah, so that's to establish the fund because the money has to go into a separate fund.
Okay,
Still goes into our regular account, but it just goes into its own fund so it can be tracked. And then that is to start the appropriations for that, so we can pay that when it comes due.
okay. Do I have a motion to accept this?
Yep.
All right, I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the next one is resolution number 2623. This is a transfer of local match for the community crossing grant. We must provide $147,939. Some of it's gonna come from the motor vehicle highway fund, 72,000, let's say, roughly a little more, almost 73,000. 50,000 will come from the motor vehicle restricted fund. And another 25,000 is gonna come from the tipping fees. And the tipping fees is what we usually use for sidewalks anyway.
Yes.
And so that's gonna total $147,939.06. And this is to be used on the community crossing grant. Do I have a motion to accept this?
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion to accept it. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Roger, you're up.
Okay, a week or so ago, we had a backup on the sewer line over here on the west side of town. We tracked it down to the lift station. Both pumps were plugged. Tanner Fluke come in and fixed those. The lift stations are pretty dirty, so he's gonna try to get in this week, weather permitting, and start doing the annual cleaning of the lift stations and getting those back up to where they need to be. Clarifier is still down. Tanner Fluke's gonna be in tomorrow to try to get that stuck bearing out. If not, we're gonna have to look at another vendor to get that done. We gotta get that clarifier back up. We also have a company coming in other than Peerless, taking a look at our Allen Bradley system and the timers on the softeners up there. We're currently back washing manually. I feel it's a communication issue between that Bradley controller on the wall and those timers, and so do they. So they're gonna come in, I believe, tomorrow to work on that. We are working on things, making sure we're in order. IDEM will be in sometime between now and June the 1st to do the inspection on the wastewater plant. We did have a leak in a 1.5 inch copper line at the water plant. So we had Brandon come in, not Brandon Young, but Brandon.
Spear.
Spear. Basically, those copper lines have been exposed long enough. He had to go back, find good copper, put some compression fittings on, and then we replaced it with plastic. And that there is a check valve up there that doesn't seem to be functioning. So Tim Hale's going to be in, take a look at that this weekend. We did have an issue with the skidster again. They come and fixed one hydraulic line down through the arm, and lo and behold, after they fixed that one, the other one went bad, so they had to come back. Hydrant flushing is going to be the 13th and 14th, so we're going to get that done. They've also been busy with banners for the uptown here. Devon got some new banners and everything. Annette gave me today a building permit application from Area Plan. I've looked this over and I'm gonna throw it back at the board with my recommendation. We don't even want to get in this nightmare. It's down in the trailer court, which is owned by Peak Properties, and a guy down there wants to build on a new porch, but he also wants to build on 2 new rooms, to a trailer house. And he did have a note back here that the property owners to whom it may concern, I give permission to the owners at the address to add a porch and redo the roof. Nothing about rooms. I don't think we want to get in the business of adding rooms to trailer courts in a trailer court. So I'm gonna sign refuse on that. I think that's in a scary territory from the fire side of it, the safety side that we don't even want to get in. Police side, we got all of our radars recertified. I've got new tires coming for my truck. I'm working on some quotes for a new vehicle for me. I think it's time to replace this one. And it's over the thing, so I'll get you 3 quotes. Dodge is bringing out a new one next year. I'm not sure that would be a year to buy one, but I'm not real happy this one did us. But whenever you switch makes and models and getting trucks from Dodge right now seems to be going to be a problem. We'll have whatever can't. We'll use whatever lighting can come off this vehicle onto the other, but I'll have to also get you quotes for emergency lighting and console. So I'll get back to you on that. Nice, pretty well.
Yeah.
One thing that I have right now is Sean had called me before the meeting and he couldn't be here tonight and Kyle couldn't either. So they said that, he's wanting to replace equipment on the trucks. He wants to outfit 2 trucks and do some replacement of equipment. And he was asking me like how much he could spend without having to come to the board and all this stuff. So I told him I would look at the purchasing thing. The township has already agreed to pay half. I think he told me that the estimate was $9,800. Yeah, for all the equipment that he's gonna get. He got 3 quotes. He said it was the best one out of the 3. They gave him a deal,
Yeah.
being local. So when I looked at I just want you guys to be aware, according to our purchasing thing, I just looked up, it says that the fire chief has permission to spend up to $5,000 without coming to the board for approval. It says the town marshal and fire chief, so.
But that's if we have it in the fund, right?
Yes, and he said that, and I looked, he has 4,400. He said what they were short, they would pay out of the fire fund. So,
But does he know that 4,400 has to last till December?
yes. They've already paid they pay out their, turnout year payment, and that's been done.
It's for battery powered equipment
Yeah.
because a lot of our stuff is old and failing, so we'd like to replace it.
I think it's a good idea, right? But we also have to meet our budgets. You know, he keeps asking, you can't, if you're gonna ask for that stuff, you gotta put it in the budget when you turn your budget in. It wasn't in there. Right? So it's just like Roger wanted, hey, I'm getting a new car this year. Well, it's not in the budget this year.
No, he didn't say this year.
I get it, but
My thing is that could be life-saving equipment.
it could.
So if we don't have it, then what happens?
So where do you stop the bleeding at with a checkbook?
And if the township's willing to pay half of it and they have the funds,
I'm not disputing that.
so does he need our vote to do it or not?
No, I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
he don't need it.
But he's gotta realize then his budget's gone for the year.
Mhm.
The vehicles, we've never put into budgets because there's a special fund for vehicles to draw out of.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just using it as an example, okay? I mean,
So, but
you just can't keep going back to the well. You know, we told him to start the process of the new fire station and getting quotes and doing all this. Where's that at? It's nowhere.
He started it. He brought us some information.
Yep. And that was about 3 meetings ago. You know, we just have to live by this type of stuff. It's just like, you know, we can't tear down a building for $40,000 or $60,000 unless we have the money. Well, it's the same thing. The fire department has a budget. Sean turned the budget in.
I say if he's got the money and he understands that that's his budget ending,
I
that's
agree.
his decision.
I agree. That's right. I agree. But he has to understand that.
Well, I'm sure he
He
does.
does.
I'm sure he does. So he doesn't need anything from us. That's under
Correct.
5.
Well,
So-
since there's no vote needed, I'll give him my blessing, because I know we need it.
So I just was wanting to bring you guys in
I
so that you
appreciate
know
that.
that next month, if we have a bill in there that you're like, well, how was he able to spend this amount?
Right.
Because
It's under.
this is what I have.
it's under 5.
Yeah,
That's great.
so. I just didn't want you to be surprised.
No surprises.
You have anything else?
All right, so I did send out, obviously, the letter to Mr. Bosong on the property. He's actually called me. We've had a couple of conversations about it. So the notice under our unsafe building requires, we give them 30 days to be able to do something, and then we have to set that as a hearing because we're asking you to take down a building. So I scheduled that for June 3rd, our next meeting, to start at 6 o'clock. So everyone gets to be here a little early for that, so we can have that hearing about tearing it down. I did offer to Mr. Gosselin, obviously, the ability to give us the property. At this point, he's not willing to do that, but he hasn't completely ruled it out. We talked about some other options. I tried to give him some other resources for someone to help him out in getting it done, and he was gonna check into that. So I also offered he could come tonight if he wanted to just update us or let us know what's going on before the hearing, but this isn't here, so I assume we will have our hearing on June 3rd and decide what we're doing at that point. So that's where it's at.
So question for you, Rebecca. I talked to Annette. We've tallied up what we have of cleaning up in that sidewalk. I assume we can start a file on that, since it came from his building, can we add that to a lien, or do we just do that as an emergency thing and take?
Yeah, I don't really think so, because I mean, it's just, it's your own property. You're cleaning up your own property, not his property. I mean,
It's his stuff.
It's probably not
It's kind of-
that big of a dollar amount, is it?
Is it like 600 or something?
$600 came out of our property cleanup.
But that's-
Not really worth that.
But it was his building that fell on your stuff, right?
Yeah,
So you
it's-
could go
it's-
for
it's-
damages.
It's a possibility, but,
That's-
it's, obviously the tearing it down is a way more, you know.
Yeah,
So I mean, at this point, if we end up doing a lien for that, we're not gonna get that out of the lot to begin with, but, yes, we can always add those costs in if we need to, so. But, so that will be set for our hearing, for next month unless he gets back with me in between then about wanting to go ahead and either give us the property or working out some other agreement way to do it. So I'll let you know, obviously, if he reaches out with anything else, so.
Okay. Tony?
Yep.
Chris?
All I want to say is, I haven't been here for 4 meetings. I've been in the EMT class,
That's good.
and I want to say congratulations to Nick Wade and myself for passing. We are now EMTs. for-
That's good. We need it.
Good job, thank you.
Thank you. It's still,
Jamie?
it's all.
I just have, I think, 2 things. It's getting nice out, property cleanups, probably need to get those pretty hard.
we've been hitting some of those. I've actually been talking on a couple properties, and one thing I want to bring up with you, because you didn't mind me. We have a house,
Oh, I have it right here.
you have it right there. We have a house that the occupant recently passed away in. Supposedly,
Has to wait in.
there was a agreement where they were buying it on contract, however, nothing is
Oh, good night.
been recorded with the court. Before he passed away, he let someone else stay there with him. They are still staying there. I am trying to find the property owner, and I'm getting a little runaround from some people. That person has come in the meantime wanting water turned on there, and I don't feel right turning water onto a house that the owner has not really given people permission. And I would assume with that contract,
So if the contract was not recorded, I mean.
it does
if-
not exist.
If it doesn't exist, that, I mean, whoever the prior owner is still the owner of that house, and that's what we.
And it's definitely one that needs cleaned up, so I thought, yeah, she was supposedly in a nursing home, not in a nursing home, nobody can find her. She has a son, but nobody knows who the name of the son is, and so forth and so forth on. So I do wanna move forward with posting that property for cleanup. So my thing is, she still has a P.O. box here according to the tax thing, but I doubt it's getting to her. So I'm gonna send a certified to that P.O. box and post one on the property.
If you wanna give me the info for that, I'll dig, see what I can find as far
Okay.
as owner of the states or whatever else might be.
Email
out there.
that to you later tonight.
And the last,
Yeah,
no water.
No water, no water.
Or
without an
sewage.
owner. Well.
And no trash.
Yeah.
She's got a key.
I have an owner.
So,
She won't.
been approached, I don't know what the street is. It's the old Jackson building. That's a tire place. A lot of Illinois cars coming in and out of that with Illinois plates on the front, the back, but none on the front. Not sure what's going on.
Well,
I'm being told there's a lot of fancy people going in and out.
it's a construction business and a tire shop, and it's zoned commercial, so any of the dilapidated vehicles can actually stay there, since it's also a
These
mechanic.
people are complaining that the vehicles are coming and going, with
Well,
Illinois plates on them.
last time I knew, and probably, here's the deal. A lot of people go to Illinois and get plates because they can't get them here. And there's 30.
That's what point that we're missing here. There's only one Illinois plate on the vehicles of said vehicles,
In
right?
Illinois, you have to have 2.
Illinois, you have 2 of them. So all we're asking for is if we could pay more attention to that area.
I can tell you there's 30 employees at that business.
Wow.
Wow.
I can tell you, there's 30 employees.
What makes the difference how many
But
employees?
it doesn't matter. I will work
Because
it.
if there's only one Illinois plate on there, that means it's illegal, right?
I'll put it to you this way. I can do what I can do, and when it hits the prosecutor's office, there's nothing I can do about it.
That's all we ask.
Yeah.
That's all we ask, Roger, right? If it's illegal, and we know it's illegal, we got people complaining about it, and that's simple. That's all I have.
Let's go home.
You got anything else, David? Okay, I got two or three things here. Start with, just a reminder. This probably needs to be put out on our website. If the public sees something that is happening in town or needs to be fixed or something, please do not call our town employees. Call town hall. If nobody answers at town hall, call me. But please don't call our employees because they don't know who, and if it's really a bad situation, they're gonna know about it anyway. But call town hall, I guarantee you Tammy and Annette will take care, they'll get a hold of them. It'll be a work order and they'll get to it right away. But just please don't call our town employees. I just wanna, Annette and I has been doing a lot of talking. I just wanna put this out here in May. The way things look, don't be surprised, everybody, if there's some budget cuts.
When we start doing.
So don't get shocked if you don't get as much money in your budget next year as you'd like. It's just the way it is. I will also say, is there anyone here that would be willing to go to a meeting on the 21st of this month at Indiana Beach? I believe it starts at 5:30. And it's a review of the past year with the Economic Development Committee. And it's at the Indiana Beach Ballroom. And it's an evening meeting, it's not a day meeting. Is there anybody willing to step up and go to this? I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of tired of meetings.
Got softball.
That's on Thursday.
I believe it is.
Yep.
We did not have a representative last year, and that's not good. It's White County on the 21st. It starts at 5:30. It'll be about a 2-hour meeting. It's at the White County Economic Development. That's who's putting it on. Do I have a volunteer?
There's food.
Pardon?
There's food.
There's food.
Yeah, pretty good too.
It starts at,
It starts at 5:30
oh.
to 7:30.
I'm going anyhow.
Upstairs, probably dark.
And I think it would be good if we had a representative there.
I can go,
I had a softball game where I won.
I have my kids.
Okay,
it's me then,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
I
You already
appreciate
got
you.
food.
I've got food at home.
all right, put this out. Give you plenty of time because you're all starting to make your
Thank you.
schedules.
I appreciate it.
I've been on the area plan for 4 years. My term's up in December. We have to have somebody on the area plan start in January. It's on, I believe, it's the second Monday of every month, but there are a couple times they've had to put them on Tuesdays. But they'll meet every month, but December,
February?
I think there's another in there, but I'm not sure.
It was
December,
February, but.
might be February, there's not a meeting. The meetings are at the courthouse. They start at 6 o'clock. They can be done by 6:30, and they can be done by 10 o'clock.
And they have armed guards.
Do they have food?
And you get
No.
paid,
There's no food.
no food. You get paid $100 a meeting for showing up. Then by the time they automatically put your thing, you'll get about $82.
Are you trying to push this position?
I can't,
Believe me, in my opinion, it's the most important position any of you could take. It's the group that will either
Make your break.
make this county, or in the case of right now, destroy it. So take your pick.
and I'll keep my mouth shut on that.
I won't.
I don't blame you. But I think 4 years, and I'll be honest with you, in 4 years, I missed one meeting.
Very good.
And that's because I was in Florida on vacation.
That's nice.
Out there.
So I do go. It's a commitment.
Area.
I see these two gentlemen there all the time. And Jim's right. It can either make or break us. But I'm going off. I've had my 4 years. And somebody else is gonna have to step up and do it. My Jim.
Since I put my neck out there, what you guys passed tonight was what I was talking about, one of the most destructive ordinances for this county going forward. And you think you've got budget cuts now, just wait.
That whole plan was designed to kill all green energy in the county. That's why that 140 foot. But with what we had on the board and the fight that we were having, what it's gonna do is open the county up to a lawsuit because you can't have two different zoning standards for one thing. But it got through and the commissioners can kill it, but now I don't know what's gonna happen because I won't be there next year.
Mike, I know where you're coming from.
So I'm gonna do everything in my power in the next 7 months to secure everything I can. And we'll see what happens.
I'm not afraid to say, I'm not totally sold on a data center, but I'm not totally sold against it. But the thing that really, and I spoke up at the last meeting, that bothers me. Everybody that's anti, and they have that right to come and speak their opinion. And I've never once chastised anyone for speaking their opinion at these meetings. But my thing is, there's gotta be something positive besides money that would bring a data center into a community. Yes, money would play a big part in it. I have not attended an area plan meeting yet where I've heard the other side of the coin. Have you, Mike?
As far as the money or?
Or as far as the pro?
No, because we really have never.
Never been?
we've
That's
not
because I've not
talked-
spoken at it.
Well, but as commissioners, we've never talked to a data center.
Yeah, right.
You know, we talked to one developer and I've been to 6 of them. I've been inside 6 data centers. They don't bother me. I'm not afraid of them. It's no different. You got data centers in this town. You just don't even know that's what they are. Because if Lightstream's here, you've got servers in that building. Buffalo's got them,
Just not to the
Brightspeed.
extent of a data center.
No, but there's different levels. You know, when we're talking about AI, that's a whole nother level than
Right.
just, and the guy we're talking to out at the Mac Park, it's just data storage. It's not super AI. It's not this, it's not a big enough footprint to be able to do that.
There was two of us sat with a congressional candidate. I was very impressed with him.
Yeah.
He said, as long as and everybody's got one of these. You know, somewhere, everything you've got on this in your computer is stored somewhere. You know what he told us? He said, who you want in charge of storing it? Us
China.
or China?
That's exactly right. That's why they want to bring them back over here. There's two things that's going on right now.
So you gotta, you know,
Most people don't understand. The data centers are in China right now. They don't want them to leave. So a lot of the stuff that they're putting on Facebook and all this stuff is all rhetoric. Second thing is SK Hynix is coming into West Lafayette. Why is it coming here? That is a Taiwan-based company. Because if Taiwan takes over, or China takes over Taiwan, they're putting 2 plants in North America just so they could stay up and running. One is in Arizona, one is in West Lafayette.
and see, and those are the things that you don't hear at these meetings. You just hear, and I spoke up, I said, I represent the people of Monon, and they'll ask me questions. I can't give them the answer
No,
because I don't know.
because we haven't talked to them.
No.
yet. So when I was campaigning, and I'll get on that a little bit, you go door to door, talk to people. What the first thing they ask me, are you for or against data centers? That's what won this election.
Sure.
Wasn't how good I was at my job, or even what Jim could have been, how good he can be at his job. It was just fear on data centers.
And like I said, I respect everybody's opinion. Do you have that right? That's what's great about our country. But I gotta get off my soapbox. I'd like to hear the other side speak up at some of these meetings that I've sat through, and you've been there too for 5 hours. And then they tell you you're taking money under the table, and well, I'll tell you what, folks. There she is. If I'm taking it, it sure in hell is not getting any in there.
That's because you got credit
Well,
cards.
there's
What's
been-
that? Cheap.
Yeah, right.
There's been this fear of everything that's different.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, the $200 million that came into this county as a result of the solar farms and the windmills, I didn't see anybody saying, I don't want that. Or I didn't hear anybody say that $13 million that we spent on the highway department that did not come out of yours or my pockets.
Right.
They bitch about how much it cost, but it didn't cost them a penny. The same thing is true with the recycling center, with the coroner's office, not a penny out of your pocket. But you see some of these candidates saying, well, I'm gonna watch our money, we overspent on this. We didn't spend any of your money. But they claim it was their tax money that went for all of this, and it's not working right and all this. Did I hear any of them say that it wasn't a penny out of my pocket? No. They claimed it was their money. And it doesn't really make any difference what you say.
No.
Those people that are saying that and the people that they've talked to that resulted in the election the way it was, will not listen to any of that. But I'll give you about 2 years when the town of Monon's sewage bill is $100 more or $120 more. They're gonna know, why did that happen? Well, remember the election of 26? You voted for that. And there's nobody saying that except me, maybe Mike. He's less outrageous than I am. But hey, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. My grandson, that's his favorite. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. So
I agree with you. In
So
2 years,
suck it up, folks.
2 years, we will see the outcome, and you only have two things.
It's gonna be fast.
Taxes are gonna go up, or services are gonna be
Well,
cut.
and you know, yeah,
I've had so many phone calls this week on property tax. bills that they just released.
And that's a funny one too.
to adjourn.
That's a funny one too, because their property taxes are going.
Someday if you ready to go in the area plan.
Property values are going up. And
Sorry, I'm.
they were gonna go down.
I know it's 6 months down the road.
I want to be working out and doing the other.
You can't have it both ways.
Yes, sir.